Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time for Brendan. Thank you for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, randomness, reviews, re-reviews, whatever it may be, feel free to send it. It could be a commentary, review, topic, ranking list, article, reaction, whatever it may be. Either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. I will try to get to it as soon as I can. This is for Hell or High Water from 2016, and I tried to get into this movie. I know Brendan, he mentioned in the comment, oh, go request one of the best films ever, and I'm like, okay. And I don't know if he said ever, but one of the best films. I don't get it. I did not like this film at all. Now, one of the people involved with this dealt with Wind River. I liked Wind River. But this one, maybe because it felt like a film I've seen countless times about robbers and at this point, the Texas Ranger going after these robbers. And you have two robbers, Chris Pine and Ben Foster. Chris Pine's the more guy in his shell, but at times he'll get explosive. Ben Foster's the more rowdy guy, doing what he wants, whatever he wants. They rob these banks. Jeff Bridges is a Texas Ranger with his partner. I'm like, at times it remind me of No Country for Old Men. At times it remind me of other stuff. I'm like, even films like Heat, I like much, much more. Where you have your Al Pacino going up against Robert De Niro. This one, it's not a bad looking film. Chris Pine and Ben Foster weren't bad. I'm not even going to knock them. Like Chris Pine, I'm not a fan of him in the Star Trek movies, but he's pretty good here. Ben Foster, always been a fan. I liked him in Pandorum, among others. And Hostage with Bruce Willis, I think he's an underrated actor, but it's just, I could not give two squats about the plot of this movie, or what was going on, or I know people praise the dialogue so much. I didn't think, it's not that dialogue was terrible, the dialogue was just kind of, been there, done that, I've seen, heard this type of stuff before, and, like, I was sitting there and watching like this, and it was like this, and then it was like this. And like I said, I liked Wind River, which I think the person, I think who directed that wrote this film. I could be wrong. But that one, I thought the story was much more interesting, and the characters were much more interesting. I wasn't interested in the characters in this. Chris Pine, Ben Foster, Chris Pine is robbing these banks because to save his family's farm, and the banks are evil, and I need to make it so to pay off this thing, because there's something on the farm that'll keep his family off of poverty. But if I don't pay off this thing, the bank will take it all. But I rob banks to get the money to pay it off so that my family keeps this farm, and then they won't have to worry about being poor ever again. Ben Foster's doing it because it's fun. They go from place to place. They do stupid stuff. Ben Foster, not even that. Ben Foster will run. They're at a diner. This guy runs across the street, robs the place, runs back, carrying money like this. Money's flying around as if no one would notice. And even Chris Pine, he gives like a $200 tip, as if that's inconspicuous. Yet no, people don't notice a $200 tip. And Jeff Bridges, I like Jeff Bridges. The Big Lebowski is one of my favorite comedies of all time. Sincerely. Tron, he's doing a lot of movies. I'm tired of seeing this performance by him. The Texan, mumble mouth, look like a bunch of marbles in their mouth right now. I'm going over here. Just I saw it in R.I.P.D., True Grit, which wasn't for me, but I would put that above this. Maybe because I'm not a big Western guy, but I like Young Guns. I like A Fistful of Dollars and the Man with No Name trilogy. I love High Plains Drifter. You see Wind River is like a modern Western. I like that film. Even sci-fi Western, like Outland with Sean Connery. High Noon in Space. I mean, just Copland is a modern Western. I love Copland. It just, this film didn't do it for me. Then Jeff Bridges, just R.I.P.D. had that same performance. True Grit, he had that same performance. And you put a lot of stuff in here. I don't know, you Indians, you like the bottle. Yeah, I say stuff about them, but, I'll get the Mexicans when I'm through with the Indian insults. He just sounds like just a bunch of marbles in my... That performance does nothing for me with Jeff Bridges. The Jeff Bridges I prefer was The Big Lebowski and Agent Tron, and there were other movies as well with Jeff Bridges. As much as I don't like the film, his performance in Arlington Road was rather good. But this, it's like, okay, I'm going to try to be the Tommy Lee Jones from No Country for Old Men, but I'm going to try to do that same, that stick accent, barely understand what he's saying. Just not for me. And then Chris Pine, he does a decent enough job. He's subdued. But then, there's a point where Ben Foster's in the car sleeping. Some guy in this green car tries to hold him up. And then Chris Pine explodes, just beats the hell out of the guy. And the scenes, it just has this lethargic, passive pace to it. And I didn't get invested in the characters. Okay, Ben Foster's in a casino, goes up to Comanche, and the Comanche he says that Comanche means the enemy is everyone. And then Ben Foster goes, well, that means I'm a Comanche too. And like I said, the Jeff Bridges is just him either giving insults about Native Americans or insults about Mexicans or trying to be his character from R.I.P.D. We get to know a little bit about Chris Pine's family, but not much. And in doing so, his family is poor. Banks are evil. They finally do another robbery, but some people get shot and killed. Chris Pine didn't want that, but Ben Foster... you know what? The Town did this better, in my opinion. That Ben Affleck made. Which was about robbers, and you had the more sensible Ben Affleck, and then you had the more rowdy one played by Jeremy Renner. Which, funny enough, Jeremy Renner was in Wind River as well. That's what I mean by I've seen a film like this too many times, like The Town, which I rather enjoyed. That just didn't have a Jeff Bridges or No Country for Old Men, Tommy Lee Jones. I don't really get the big appeal of this, that people call it a masterpiece. I don't. Michael Mann's Heat, just other films it reminds me of, and I like more. I'd either got more invested in the direction, and it's not bad in this, but those the landscape, or the direction, or the music, or the motivations, or there's just more to it for me than this. Spoiler alert, Ben Foster, Chris Pine go their separate ways. Ben Foster shoots Jeff Bridges' partner. Jeff Bridges gets someone's help to go across the way. Shoots Ben Foster with a sniper shot. Kills him. Right in the head. And then, the one bit of tension I felt in the entire movie was at the very end. Where Jeff Bridges is sitting on a chair at Chris Pine's place. Chris Pine arrives. And Chris Pine's like, if you think you don't be fast enough to get to your gun before I blow you away. And there's a bit where Jeff Bridges is sitting but staring at Chris Pine. Chris Pine standing and staring at Jeff Bridges. And who's going to make the first move? Who's going to do something? That's the one and only tension I felt in this entire movie. And then spoilers, his family, Chris Pine's family arrives, and then they pretty much talk about how they'll settle this later, whether tomorrow or. And then Jeff Bridges drives away, and the movie is over. So you assume that there'll be a shootout tomorrow or whatever, and more than likely Chris Pine will probably die. And Chris Pine's like, maybe I'll give you peace. And Jeff Bridges goes, no, maybe I'll give it to you. And goes off from there. And then that's the end. Like I said, the film, it felt long. It was like 2 hours long. And I'm sitting there going, what am I missing? I know people want to say I'm wrong and I'm missing everything. I sat, I watched it, and I don't get it. I mean, I've seen from Extreme Prejudice with Nick Nolte to The Town with Ben Affleck to Heat, Michael Mann, like multiple things about a lawman or, well, that's not really The Town of Lawman, but either robber, it's just, even like Set It Off back in the day, despite it having Jada Pinkett, I like Set It Off. Again, I just thought it was boring. It was just slow, and I don't get I don't get the love for it. I don't. I'm sorry to Brendan. I'm sorry. Make him mad. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't blame him. I sat there going, I don't get what people are seeing from this. I don't get it. Wind River I got. This not really. I sit there and I go, I don't think this story was that interesting. And Chris Pine and those type of terrors, that could be Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner from The Town. That could be any number of terrors I've seen with this type of comparison. Again, Jeff Bridges felt like they took Tommy Lee Jones from No Country for Old Men, but then gave him more of a marble mouth. Hey, Jeff Bridges, you remember R.I.P.D. and True Grit? Play that. The music didn't do anything for me. Cinematography wasn't bad, but it was nothing that I ran home about. I can't remember any oh, that's a great shot. Capable wasn't bad. It's just, I do think it's overrated. Oh, it's just because it was nominated for Best Picture. Hey, I like that, what was that, Leonardo DiCaprio film, The Revenant. I like that movie. The Town, I like that movie. Argo, I liked less, but I didn't mind Argo. There are other movies that were nominated for Oscars that I liked. The Full Monty, I just reviewed that comedy. That was nominated for Best Picture back in 1997. I liked that. You go throughout the years, there's plenty. And I think this was nominated for Best Picture. I'm like, so Heat with Michael Mann was not nominated for Best Picture, but this film was. I don't agree with that. Like, Heat doesn't get nominated for Best Picture, but this film does? Sorry, I don't agree with that. And I can't help it. When you're watching a film, or I'll speak for myself, when I'm watching a film that it's not getting me invested with, my mind just wanders to other movies that I either could be watching, should be watching, rather be watching, and then what similarities this makes me think of, and it's the ones I just named countless times in this review. So again, if people disagree, that's fine. Won't be the first or last time, but I can't sit here and lie out to you. If you look at Best Picture nominations, I don't know why, Best Picture nominations, like 2016 this came out. I don't know, I gotta wait for the internet to work for me. Well, no, I keep forgetting they. But funny enough, 2016. That would have been probably the year before this. This came out 2016, but yeah, the Oscars. Yeah, anyway. The Martian I enjoyed. The Revenant I enjoyed. And maybe it'd be in 2017. This came out 2016, but the Oscars 2017. Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge I enjoyed much more than this. You know, I liked Hacksaw Ridge. I liked The Martian. I liked The Revenant. Some of these others I haven't seen. The Shape of Water, I would put above this. I thought The Shape of Water was okay. But I would put Dunkirk, I would put above this. Shape of Water, I would put above this. I liked it for what it was. I didn't love it. Dunkirk, that's another one. I liked it. I didn't hate Dunkirk. I reviewed it. Feel free to check out my review. I didn't hate it. Get Out, I really enjoyed. I put that above this. Let's see. This is better than Black Panther, I'll say that. Black Klansman, it was okay. I would put that above this. A Star is Born, I liked. I put that above this. I liked A Star is Born. Andrew Dice Clay was pretty interesting in that. 1917, I loved. That's a film I like to watch again. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I really enjoyed. Joker, I really enjoyed. 1917, Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Parasite, I still think is overrated. And I would rather watch this than Parasite. Sound of Metal. I just reviewed Sound of Metal not too long ago. That film got me more interested in its story and its plea of this heavy metal drummer that went deaf and him trying to deal with it. That got much more out of me than this film. Although, again, I'd probably rather watch this in Nomadland. That's the thing. Not every film nominated for Best Picture Oscar nominee is a film I'm going to enjoy. But I'm also saying this for all the people that want to say that I hate everything. I just mentioned a bunch of them. Sound of Metal. Best Picture nominee, I enjoyed. 1917. Joker. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I didn't mind. Shape of Water. Black Klansman, I didn't mind. Star is Born, I liked. And that's why my cat's meowing. Maybe he didn't like this movie either. Dunkirk, I didn't mind. Get Out, I enjoyed. And even though, like, let's say 2014. Let's see. Wolf of Wall Street, I loved. Gravity, I loved. Dallas Buyers Club, Matthew McConaughey, I really enjoyed. That's like me going, I know people who don't like Gravity. But that's like me going, you don't like Gravity? Just you hate all movies, you dipstick. You hate Gravity, or just you hate all movies? You hate everything. If I say that, people go, you're stupid. Love Wolf of Wall Street, love Gravity. I know people don't like, that's fine. If they don't like Gravity, teach their own. My friend Effrey, one of my best friends, hated Gravity. That's cool, I'm still friends with him. Dallas Buyers Club, that's a really good film, Matthew McConaughey. And Jared Leto. About a guy who has AIDS, but doesn't take a line down. He helps people out, because they can't afford drugs, and he helps them out. Dallas Buyers Club is a pretty good movie. One of Matthew McConaughey's best performances. Steve Zahn's in it, yeah, Jared Leto. That's a good movie. So, and the list goes on. So, but there'll be people that ignore that, and, you know, it is what it is. But, like, if you like the film, that's cool. Just not my cup of tea. So, we'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.